This is a webcast where dentistry meets real talk, real news, and just the right amount of sarcasm. We are pulling back the curtain on the industry. We're talking to the experts, the innovators, and the everyday clinicians who are out there doing the work. There's no fluff, there's no filter, and definitely no sales pitches disguised as education. If it's happening in dentistry, from clinical insights to regulatory curveballs, or maybe it's the latest scandal at the ADA, we are probably already talking about it. And yes, we are bringing the goods. So it doesn't matter if you're a seasoned doc, part of a dental team, maybe you're in the industry, or maybe you're a curious consumer. Maybe you're just here for the banter, but we welcome you all to the show because around here, we are not just in the loop, we are in the know. Hey there, Dinks. I'm Dr. Jeff Horowitz. I am with two of my besties in the world and my adopted nephew bestie as well, Austin Duplantis, our new producer. And it is such a pleasure to be with them. The three of us here, we created this little platform to make the dental world just a little bit smaller, but a whole lot more fun. Today, we have a great friend of Dentists in the Know, Dr. Greg Wu. He's been with us before. We're excited to have him again. We're going to be talking about the virtual dental team and integrating some of that into your practice. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited just to catch up with an old friend. So this is all thanks to our great friends at Curve Dental, our educational sponsor. And we thank them for their partnership. Guys, how you doing?
What a rough entry. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely like Apollo 11 trying to land. I mean, this was bad. Yeah. This was bad tonight.
It was like Apollo 13 trying to land, Chad.
No, Apollo 11 was a good one too.
Did any of them actually go to the moon?
Yeah, Apollo 11 did.
I mean, conspiracy theory.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Has anyone ever actually been to the moon?
Tinfoil hat and all, huh?
Hey, now that I was corrected, I'm just going to say 11, 13, whatever it took. I don't give a shit. I don't follow NASA. Okay.
220, 221.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Whatever it takes.
Guys, Wednesday, I don't know about you, but this has been a weird week, and let me tell you why. So on Monday, we were supposed to have these crazy weird storms. Obviously, my TV's not working.
Historic weather event.
And it was a nothing burger.
Hello.
Nothing. So what? The schools were out. We had to basically shut down half our day at practice because the people were freaking out. I mean, I'm a little freaking out. Going, gosh, I don't want to get stuck here in this area and I can't get home because trees are down, whatever. Guys, nothing burger. Nothing.
Yeah. Well, it was a rainstorm. And everyone started freaking out the day before, on in our office chat. And I'm like, guys, it's a thunderstorm. We've had these before. We all know how to drive in the rain. We all have a job. And I'm like, but then Horry County Schools, this is the most genius thing I've ever heard. They decide they're going to make it half a day of school. Let the kids out in the middle of the damn event, right? So they're going to have a half a day of school, but they have buses for the kids who take the bus in the morning, but no bus transportation in the for the half day.
Stop.
I swear.
Stop.
I know. So it's amazing how they do it.
Every single parent had to make an accommodation to pick up their child. Totally lost a day. Totally lost a day.
I bet you that Denmark, South Carolina had it under control.
This is going well for me.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a framed TV. It's supposed to be art, but my internet is not working so great, which pretty much summarizes this evening's performance on YouTube.
Yeah. But hey, we're here. We're back. It's hump day. Hey, I'm just going to go ahead and throw out a selfish plea. I put a lot of work into a post today on Facebook. It's got 0 reach.
No, that's not true. It reached me.
Oh, bestie.
it reached me during dinner. I put the heart thing on it, but
okay.
there's
Finally, we got something.
We got
I'm like,
19
what the hell?
people.
I don't understand Facebook's algorithm, man. This morning I was typing frantically.
I'm just telling you. Even our we should probably say we're doing a Final Four or like a NCAA March Madness bracket. And thank you, Partha. Great idea. Hope everybody jumps in. They have until tomorrow to finish it. And an unfairness attack to Chad's post, it all kind of came in about the same time. But also, it's only got like 240 people. Like I do not understand. But if you were to put up right now a picture of a bloody tooth and you literally said nothing, like nothing, you just put up a picture of a tooth you took out, you'd get 25,000 views. I'm telling you, it's weird.
I know. It is crazy. Can I tell y'all a funny thing that happened in my community this morning that kind of relates?
You can tell us anything. We're a safe space for
especially
you.
funny
this is a dental group, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. There's this guy that I won't mention by name, but his relative might be named Salt. Anyhow, he lives in our community, and he posts all the time. And it's the reason that I'm so passionate about this. And he talks about tourism dentistry. Like somebody in our community would be like, hey, need the name of a dentist that's honest, whatever. He's like, go to Mexico, man. I go down there and I stay for a few days in Cancun. I get all my work done. It's super cheap and whatever. So then, he runs a transportation company in our community, and people ask for transportation. And I want to say, well, go to Mexico because apparently it's cheaper down there than it is here. And so this morning, said person's wife was looking for a vet because she took her new cat to get neutered, and it was just outrageously priced. So what did I put in there?
Go to Mexico.
They should go to Mexico.
Yeah, I was like, Weird Frog 969. You know how when you do that sometimes anonymously, and I put, you should go to Mexico.
Nothing?
I'm done. I think the comment was deleted because they don't allow anonymous posts, but it made me feel better if that helps.
You should just put your name out there, Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that because
what's one more person that doesn't like you?
Yeah. Well, true.
He can join our fan club.
Yeah, that's right. So anyways,
we have the
Weird Frog 1969 came up with take your cat to Mexico.
So last thing before, because we got to let Jennifer do her news because we flubbed the opening for the first 10 minutes of this show.
Big time.
What's this wee shit?
Yeah. Well, listen, I was just sitting here looking pretty like always. And
it was my son.
Yeah. I actually have a great 4-second video of your son going, it's because I let Jeff in.
Yeah, anyway, I know. Poor kid.
This week has been a lot of angry people. Like
$200,000 for a film degree, and he can't even freaking start this.
Yeah, how'd that investment go for you, Chad?
Don't listen to him.
It's real nice, Clark. It's real nice.
Okay, Jeff, you're talking about angry people?
Yes, this week.
Yeah.
Lots of them. I don't know where they're coming from. Even Chad's dogs are angry.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's the times. I really think people are very stressed.
Yeah. I had a guy get up and just walk out today. Like he was just pissed at the world. And it was nothing we did. Like he was brought back on time. There was nothing wrong. He just got up and left because he was pissed. He was just pissed.
I'm on my 17th.
He's probably tired.
Yeah.
I'm on my 17th letter with the IRS for an issue from October of 2022.
Oh,
nice.
Okay. And we still cannot get it fixed. And I just keep getting letters like, we need 60 more days to figure this out. We need 60 more days to figure this out. Yes, you did pay it. But now because you didn't pay it, it got applied to 2 quarters. So now like it's, when I tell you it's a cluster. So I think it's these types of little dumb nuisance things that are festering in people's lives that they're just
Yeah.
like, I am done. I'm done with the man. I'm done with, and I use that as like a, you know.
Well, and how about now that people have to get to the airport 2 days before their flight?
2 days.
Yeah.
2 days,
Yeah.
2 whole days.
I know. I'm flying out
And,
tomorrow, and I'm a little concerned.
bring your own bedding, you know?
Hey, you know what my thought process was on that? The clubs better be stocking up on booze because them sons of bitches are going to be hit hard.
They're overfilled.
Yeah.
There's a waiting line to get in, even if you have status.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's do
I
some news.
know. First world problems, but all right. We're sounding like spoiled brats now, but
we are.
We are. Okay.
Let's
do some
do
news,
some news.
JB.
Okay, my friends. Let's go to the news. Oh, okay. First off, apologies for the background. It's very, I don't know, very modern art for me, which is not typically my MO. A couple news stories for today, and then one personal indulgence, if you will. So this is actually just a general PSA for our audience members who maybe aren't dentists or aren't even in the dental profession or whatever, but this is an ongoing trend that every week I read about yet another unlicensed dentist either being arrested or having done some untoward thing towards someone else. So I'm done with it. I'm not going to talk about any more stories about unlicensed dentists. What I'm going to talk about is to the general population of the United States of America and every state. Please, I know that you have lived in a comfortable and luxurious life up until today. You don't go to your state licensing board and look up your dentist to see if they're actually licensed in the state, but we absolutely must start requiring that. Now, if they're listed with your insurance company, I guarantee you they are licensed, because when we go in network with an insurance company, you have to go through a pretty arduous process of presenting documents. For our non-in-network dentists, you are going to have to go to the state board to actually look up their license. That's it. I'm done. You've been warned. If you go to someone in their home, you go to a back alley, you go to a garage, you go to a hotel, it's on you. If you go to what appears to be a very nice office and they're still unlicensed, you have to look that stuff up. That's what the veneer techs were doing in multiple states, where you would swear that they were a dentist and yet they were not. There are scams and fools amongst us all. So now, as a precautionary tale, we must go to the internet. We must go to our state boards and look up licensure. 2 more dentists were arrested yet this week in Illinois for practicing without a license, without any credential whatsoever related to dentistry, for administering medications, taking teeth out, and causing an ill infection that ended up landing a patient in the hospital. So look, shit happens to even really good doctors, but at least go to really good doctors. And another story, which has been very interesting to me because I actually caught myself quite unaware. So we've been talking about the Hygiene and Dentist Compact. That's been going on for quite some time. The concept or proposal is to get this interstate licensure relaxation, where it was originally meant for military families. If you were married to someone in the military and you kept getting moved around, then it would be easy for you to go through a licensure pathway so that you wouldn't have to keep going through re-credentialing and retaking boards and all that stuff. That was a very noble cause and I think had a lot of good merit. What it has opened up, though, was an opportunity for portability. Fine. There's been a ton of push for national licensure for a really long time. But now I think there's another bill that is moving in a different direction. So now we have 2 competing compacts happening simultaneously, which I actually didn't know about. There is an interstate dental and dental hygiene licensure compact created by the American Association of Dental Boards. It's one of the 2 different compacts. Now, Mississippi and Louisiana are both a member of this compact. Missouri, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts have also brought legislation forward to join the compact as well. So great. Now we have multiple compacts managing multiple licensures all at the same time. Like, that's a bit of a challenge as well, right? Not going to move us towards licensure and actually now muddies the water quite a bit. And with that, that's the news.
That was riveting.
Rich and compelling.
I'm not sure if it was either of those things, but
yeah, riveting.
Thanks.
Wow, that was very
It was more uplifting than it has been in the past. I'm not going to lie.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not doing people go to unlicensed dentists anymore. That was it. I'm just going to keep running that same PSA. Stop going to unlicensed dentists in a garage, a hotel, a back alley, their home. Like, there are just some dead giveaways. And then, unfortunately, even the veneer techs, like in Atlanta and a few other places, were using real offices. And actually, you wouldn't know that they weren't licensed dentists unless you look them up.
Speaking of which, I've got an idea for a show down the road. We're going to go through a lot of our videos, and we're going to go through, especially TikTok. Like, we should do verbal responses to some of the comments that we get. Did you see I went to bat for you a couple of weeks ago? Somebody comes in. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about, lady. I just ripped her a new one. I was like, oh, it's on. It's on. So
that's okay. She doesn't know what she's talking about either.
Yeah, I think we should come up with like our best comments and come up with what we really want to say.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun.
I will say, though, today we had a lot of activity on Curve. And somebody responded today, and Curve, if you're watching, they were new to an office that uses Curve, and they were trying to fund tutorials. I don't know if they exist or not, but if that's hard to find, or if I can reference that link for somebody on our TikTok channel, I'd be happy to do so.
I love it. I love it.
Let's bring our guest.
We can. And would you like me to introduce our guest?
Please do.
Okay. So rather than a formal introduction, I'm just going to throw out there, you know, you say a lot of things, but if you come across people in dentistry that kind of make the world a better place, one of the first names that you'll see is Dr. Greg Wu. Who? It's Wu. But anyhow, Greg is, you mind if I call you Greg? Greg?
Absolutely. I would want nothing else.
Dr. Wu is really a bright spot in our profession. He is a dentist in the Boston area. The last time we had him on, it was kind of funny because we had our technical issues tonight, and Greg had his technical issues last time, but dang it, he went to dental school, not IT school. He had his technical issues with a storm in the Boston area and was about to lose power here, went to the office, lost power there, went back home, or went to his in-laws' house, I think.
No, I went to my mom and dad's house. I went to my mom and they lost power too.
Yeah, and it I don't understand. Well, I didn't ask you a question, Siri. That's why you don't understand. But anyhow, Greg is just a great guy. But one of the things that I want to share, and I think it's a real honor to be with him tonight, because 4 years ago today, Greg had a stroke. And a lot of people would have hung it up, gone into a severe state of depression, called it quits, said, I can't do this anymore. Greg has really pivoted. He's made a wonderful journey, if you will, after his stroke, really honed in on Curve, really honed in on his practices, and really just learned how to use the digitization of America, if we will, to his benefit. And it's wonderful to call you a friend. I love seeing your smile, your uplifting attitude. You're positive to everybody that meets you, friends and family. This is Dr. Greg Wu, and it's great to have you on the show, buddy.
Woo!
Woo! Thank you.
Woo!
Some of you guys are not watching the video. You guys are listening on the podcast. So you should go on the YouTube and actually see it on video. I'm still 4 years post-stroke, and I almost look normal. Almost. So
Yeah.
you should see how,
Yeah,
see
you
how my
look normal.
recovery is.
Yeah.
So
you used to be blonde.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But thank you for the introduction. And it's an honor to be here, guys. And truthfully, yes, we did not go to IT school. We went to dental school. And that's what the wonderful thing of all this technology, I would first go to say, is trying to implement it into dentistry, because we all know that since we didn't go to that tech school, we don't understand all this technology out there we could embrace into dentistry.
Yeah.
So
And if you turn it off and you turn it back on again, 9 times out of 10 it fixes the problem, right?
Yeah, it does.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
and
My
thank
team
you for
got me
the
a shirt for Christmas that says, "Did you turn it off and turn it back on again?" And that's
And
basically
here's
my
the
comment.
crazy thing is they used to actually pay somebody to sit on a telephone and tell the customer to turn it off and turn it on. And I think that's a kind of a great lead in to some of what you want to talk about.
Right.
Dr. Wu.
And just again to talk about today is a very auspicious day. I mean, it's kind of coincidental. This is exactly my 4-year anniversary. So thank you for that. And we had a little technical issues here too. And I'm just going to share with you, when I was going through OT and PT, my PT said to me, "Why do we fall?" He asked me that, "Why do we fall?" And I was like, "Well, no." He's like, "So we learn how to pick ourselves back up." And I share that. That's figuratively and literally.
That's right.
So we just fell here trying to get the show started, but we figured it out. We're live right now, right? So
We
Greg,
think we are.
Greg, you want to know another interesting fact about today? It was 6 years ago today that our lives as professionals changed forever, because 6 years ago today, I showed up to work and we were told that we could not work anymore. Our offices needed to be shut down. And so I spent the day cleaning out my office. So there's a lot of significance to this day in history, because this was when the world stopped as far as our profession is concerned.
absolutely, it changed forever the way dentistry is done. Ironically, that's where Zoom and video chats and these podcasts and YouTube became more popular. It became the forefront. And people started working from home. It became norm to work from home or work remotely, which we all know dentistry is not really built that way, right? And dentistry's changed drastically with DSO groups and the privatization, and the small guy has a hard time keeping their practice open. And therefore, my conversation today about having the virtual team, if you ask me, this is our chance as the little guy to gain some of those advantages that these DSO groups have. They had call centers and all those things. And we now have that ability to have virtual teams with all this technology, because dentistry has an access problem. Let's be honest. The first access is people getting to the dentist, but I would argue that it's also the dentist. It's not just a patient accessing dental care. It's dentists accessing reliable team members. We all know that hiring people for teams, I mean, you ask any dentist, they're like, "Oh, I'm having a hard time keeping hygienists, finding hygienists, or front desk or assistants." And so I would tell you, in the last 6 years, the modernization of these virtual teams on other businesses, we've just been slow to adapt to it in dentistry, but we can certainly do some of the things that we do in our office virtually with voice over IP. If you're, and Mango's a sponsor, so you can actually answer their office phones from anywhere. You can do it on your cell phone. So that's something that being done virtually. Insurance verification with cloud-based softwares like Curve, you can do that. Appointment scheduling, treatment plan follow-ups, billings and claims, inpatient communication and recall management. These are all things that we can easily do with virtual assistants. And why is it growing so fast? Labor shortages. We know that. The benefits and the turnover out there. And obviously this is more on a YouTube channel and on a podcast, but I am going to give a full webinar with Reach, a virtual assistant company sponsored with Curve and Mango, about how it's like to actually hire a virtual assistant. That is April 16th for those of you who are listening or watching. And I invite you to be on there, and there'll be a lot of different ads on the Curve, Mango, and Reach's Instagram, social media out there, and obviously with dentists in the know. So
it's great that you said that, because this past month my assistant had surgery on her left hand on around the 1st of March, and then her right hand on the 1st of March, and then she had a surgery on her left hand on the 16th, this past Monday. And so I hired a virtual assistant. I put the computer right next to the chair. I was working with the handpiece, and I thought that a suction was going to come right through the screen. Nothing. I mean, I got water and spit, saliva, amalgam, all kinds of shit all over the computer, but there was nothing. There was no hand coming out of the virtual. So talk to us a little bit about this virtual assisting thing.
So let's face it.
For those who don't get it.
Yeah.
Not all of dentistry can be virtual. So we have to think about it. But the first thing I'll say to you guys is your front desk. What do? They answer phones. They look up insurance. But what they get overwhelmed. It's too many things for them to do. We see it with our front desk. It's the front desk shouldn't be doing 10 jobs at once while the patient's standing in front of them. And you guys all know in your offices that happens probably too much. So really the virtual team should be doing the things that can be non-patient facing, so that we can do the thing that we all went to dental school for, is taking care of patients. Because I'm pretty sure that, Chad, JB, and Jeff, you guys don't particularly love writing notes and looking up insurance. And these are things that we want admin team to take care of. And then I would ask, do they really need to be in the office to do so?
Well, and if COVID taught us nothing, the offices that had already invested in the technology were really quick to adapt. They had the ability to communicate. They had cloud-based softwares where they could access their patient records from home. Those offices that had already taken that leap to be up to date and already on current technology had a very small hill to climb to get back to communicating with patients and getting to network with patients very quickly. Those that were not on those platforms had to go out and then get in a very long queue with other people who were now trying to hire those companies like Curve and Mango to say, oh, shoot, I'm using dial-up. I can't access it. I'm using my server on site. I can't access it. It's down. And now I got to send somebody over to the office and nobody will leave. And the certain areas were very strict about people being on the road and getting out. And so if COVID taught us nothing, like being up to date and being very current on these platforms actually prepares us quite well for the unknown. And COVID was definitely an unknown, but our ability to adapt and respond was and our practice was way faster because we were already on a lot of these digital pathways versus some of my other colleagues that were having to onboard all of this stuff very quickly and train their teams. I don't know, Greg, did you feel that way? Did you see that? Do you experience that still today?
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, it changed the very fabric of the way we run our practices in so many different ways, because we were supposed to social distance, right? We used to have team meetings, and then we're supposed to be okay, no, nobody get too close. You can't get more closer than 10 feet. So it's how do you run staff meetings?
Yeah.
How do you train a new assistant during COVID times? It changed everything. We had set up group texts and chat groups and done Zoom calls with our team to have staff meetings so we could social distance. Everything changed.
All right, Greg, you brought up an amazing point that I don't think we talk enough about. So we can talk about the virtual admin person, right? We definitely can deploy that. But here's the other cool thing that Curve and platforms that allow us to integrate or access it from anywhere, wherever we are, offer us. We can now offer our admin team a work from home flexible option, which was unheard of in dentistry before COVID. You were not sending any of your admin team home to answer the phones or work on scheduling patients. But now if I have a patient or if I have a team member who's kind of under the weather, but not too sick to work, but they shouldn't be in the office. Or I have a team member who needs to travel and go be home with another family member, but they still want to be able to get hours for the day. They can do that now. Like we can be flexible, just like Silicon Valley. Like we can be as flexible as some of these other admin option positions.
And let's be honest, I lost some team members during COVID. I've lost team members even before COVID because the way dentistry doesn't allow people to work
That's
from
right.
home. And so some people are like, I left and given me their notice because like, well, I just had 2 little kids and the third one's just, I can't, it's hard for me to manage my home life. So I'm really looking for a job that will allow me to be at home more. So, I mean, that's a very classic line, right? So with this technology now, we're able to do that, at least offer it like a hybrid role and stuff. So
yeah.
And you guys are all in warm weather states, right? So I'm up here in the Northeast. So we have this thing called snow. It's a 4-letter word. And so out here, like, if it snows and we're going to call it snow day, think about that. Are we going to drive into the office, flip on our server, call the patients and say, hey, don't come in tomorrow, Mrs. Jones. We're calling a snow day. No, what a benefit where we can do it from home remotely, use our cell phones to log into the Mango app and call our patients, and the patients will be surprised. Oh my God, you're calling us from the office? Yeah. That's Mrs. Jones. I'm all the way out here. I trucked through 10 feet of snow just to call you.
Just for you.
Yeah. It was funny. We used to, when we weren't cloud-based, we would take a sheet that we'd print off from the computer.
I was thinking the same thing, Chad.
Anticipation of snow, and we'd have all the phone numbers on it, and we'd call, which is incredibly HIPAA compliant, but you got to destroy it afterwards. But it was one of those deals where you got to do everything that you can because you may not be able to get to the office. But I think back, and one of the things that happened with Curve was pretty. Some people would say it's crazy that you were doing this, but we were in Italy 3 years ago. We had just gotten on Curve. Patient had no idea where I was. They sent me a message. They had my cell phone number. They called me, and I'm like, hey, I'm in Italy. They're like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, hey, no worries. It's late here. Family's asleep. I'm on my computer. Let me log into the computer. I'm like, hey, Dr. Kirkham can see you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. I'll go ahead and put the appointment down. Just go ahead and plan on being there. You'll get a notification in just a second. That peace of mind is so great. I mean, yes, I happen to be in front of the computer. It's not like I stopped everything that we were doing, but it's wonderful to be able to do it from anywhere in the globe. As long as you have internet access, just to be able to log in and be able to take care of a patient. And I think that there's so many things in dentistry that build loyalty, build trust, through communication alone. And cloud-based software is one of the things that's able to do that for us. And you don't realize the value until you really need it in that time,
And let's talk about that. The whole hype now is all the AI and everything. And I'm happy to talk about that. But one of the things I always tell everybody is like, AI and technology isn't to make us more robotic. And you touched right upon it, Chad. It's to bring back more humanity. We really, what all this cloud-based, all this technology, all this AI, it allows us more to be human. It allows us to be able to touch people. I mean, you've seen that movie Monster Inc. with was it Roz? Doing your paperwork, and I mean, now it's more of a connection with people because I don't want to do paperwork and do all that admin. If AI can take care of that, all the better. I can bond and connect with my patients.
Yeah, and you can train AI to make it more personal as well. I mean, today I was in a bind today. I had to write a letter to a doctor that we rarely refer to, that the patient had an odd experience with. And I was at a loss for words because I just really didn't know what to say. I put in a few prompts and man, AI gave me this really nice letter, but it sounded robotic. And I was like, please make this sound a little bit more personal. And man, it came out. I'm like, dude, this sounds like me. I'm in. Done. Let's go. I mean, we can use it to our benefit. And I will say this because my son is producing the show. He thinks that AI is the demon in disguise. And Austin, I love you. I do. But I will say that for certain industries, AI is detrimental. For our industry, it is so beneficial. So beneficial in so many ways. I mean, insurance rebuttals, letters to referring doctors, letters to referrals. There's so many ways. I mean, we could go on and on and on about how it's benefited our industry, but I can see it could be the detriment of others. So I do see both sides.
And that's the thing with technology, right? So it can, if it's used in the wrong hands, it can always be used for not so good or evil. And in the right hands, it could benefit humanity and society. So that's any technology. And so as a profession, we need to look out for each other and make sure that we maintain that level of that level for everyone.
That we need to maintain the personal aspect of dentistry. Jeff, you've got something to say, dude. You've got it on the tip of your tongue, man. I know.
Talk now? Can I talk now? Can I please talk? Can I please talk?
We will give you 1 minute.
Let's talk a minute about the burden on the practice owner. Things like business management, KPIs, managing the actual business of dentistry, which has, we've now been able to delegate a lot of that to AI, to virtual help as well, to help guide us in the other business decisions that we make. So first question is, I'm curious how you're using either AI or virtual assistants that may help with running the actual business of dentistry. But second, I also want to piggyback on something that was mentioned earlier about how powerful of a tool this is, that we have the ability to be flexible with the team that matters to us, the people that we're saying you're in charge of our patients. We recently moved into a new building that for some of my employees is actually quite a ride. Actually, for myself, it's quite a ride. Some days, sometimes more than an hour. And it's really become a problem with them not getting home until after 6 o'clock. And the old thing was someone is going to stand here and answer the telephones until 5 o'clock, because a lot of people are not going to make that telephone call until they're off of work, right at that point. I want someone there to the very last minute. And so we have the ability now to allow that flexibility through things like Mango and the way Mango integrates with Curve to be able to let them go, let them get home to their families. And now there's job satisfaction there, which makes our job as a business owner so much better. When our employees aren't happy, I mean, it's just miserable at the office. So that was more of a statement, but really the question that I was posing to you is, how do you really see it helping the business owner, the practice owner, in helping them make business decisions for the practice?
Well, let's be honest. You touched right upon it right from the beginning, the telephone. How do we get patients in our chairs? That's the lifeblood. The communication from the patient to our office. And what's a lost opportunity? The KPI, missed calls. That's every doctor's, like, how many missed calls do we have? Because those are opportunities for you to fill your chair. And so if you have people that can answer it virtually, obviously the AI phone is a new thing, and I have it in my office, and that's a last resort. We always want someone to pick up the phone, whether they're in the office or outside the office or virtual, so that we can actually book appointments for them. And that's what most people want too. As far as AI, that's a last resort, but it does guide and take good messages, and it does make the streamline flow. And when you're talking about KPIs, I mean, again, we went to dental school. We didn't go to IT school, but we also didn't go to business school. So what are the right KPIs? This is where AI can help us. You can go on ChatGPT and say, hey, what's a successful KPI for answer phone calls for a dental office? It will tell you what's a successful practice have for their overhead for staff salaries. All of that stuff is right there now. I mean, you could always Google it, but now with AI, ChatGPT, and whatever platform you're going to use, you can get all that information right at the fingertips. And you can even send it to them, to ChatGPT, and say, hey, analyze this, or write me a insurance denial letter so that I can actually fight this. It's pretty awesome.
What are your thoughts? You know, this is a thought that just came to mind. What are your thoughts on like, you know, somebody who says, "Hey, you know, I I don't want to use the communication from the cloud-based software because patients don't want text messages. Patients don't, you know, they complain about having to pay for text messages. They don't want them." What are your thoughts nowadays on that?
Well, first of all, you
Does
can turn it
anyone
off.
still pay for a text
People
message?
pay for text messages.
Yeah,
You can turn it off.
that's where I'm heading. That's where I'm heading, and I'll follow up after Greg answers.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Somewhere,
Yeah.
somewhere in there, there's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had that complaint in a long time, but I would say that you can. That's the wonderful thing about cloud-based software. You can turn it off for this individuals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like,
So-
okay,
You hit the nail right on the head. You haven't had that complaint in a long time. I still get asked that question when I'm presenting or something. You know, when people say that, I'm like, you know, what world are you living in? We have conditioned everybody that text messages are the way of the future.
oh,
You
there's
don't get
text to
charged
pay
for it
already.
anymore. And guess what, folks? That's the way that people want to communicate. So quit living under a rock. It's changed.
I'm so
And-
glad you brought
Yeah,
this up
so-
because
I was just gonna say, and that's something for you Curve users out there. Curve has text to pay, and they have
Yeah.
Curve Pay, so everything's linked together.
Everything's
They have a whole
texting.
ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and if I'm being honest, that's what I want you to send to me. I
Yeah.
try to put myself in the consumer chair to say, do I want my sweet girl at the front desk to call me, or do I want her to text me? I want her to text me. And you can actually make texting very personalized. You can say, hey, Mary, it was great to see you in the office. Hope your dog is doing well. You owe us $18. How would you like me to, can I send you a text to pay? Like you can still make texting very personal, but if you think about it, the average American is balancing a myriad of things, and they're very used to being able to make decisions at their fingertips. And what I can tell you personally is I do not have time to get on a phone, especially because you know what we do. We're seeing patients all day. We're managing people. Like, I do not have time between 8 and 5 to sit on a phone for 20 minutes to talk to somebody while they look at a schedule and try to figure out blah, 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 blah. If I can do something through a text or a portal or what, please, for the love, send me the login. I'm in.
Yeah,
Mhm.
online scheduling. I mean, you do that for your
Yes.
car, your hair appointments. I mean, everybody's doing it now.
And the customer expects it now. Patients expect you to be able to offer that.
They really do. And you know, the thing is Weave did a study in 2019, or no, AT&T did a study. We've published it that I've seen that when you look at all of the apps of the iPhone, the phone is the number 5 most used app. People
Text.
don't want to talk. I mean, I've become guilty of it too. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, I want to talk to my family. I want to talk to my friends. There's certain times where a phone call is necessary, but good gosh, how easy is it to just pick up and drop a text to somebody, you know? And that's what people want. Now, there's certain things that we can't do through text, and there's certain things that we shouldn't do through text. I do want my staff to be able to, or our team, I should say, to be able to utilize the phone and have that interpersonal communication, but the text is so valuable, and it's such a wonderful tool.
Exactly. I mean, that there's so many different ways to communicate now. Text, there's the old phone call, but that's the difference of a generation. You know, we're talking about the patient, the baby boomer generation, they still want to pick up the phone and talk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then us Gen Xers, we can kind of go either way, but you know, and then you keep going down that path to the millennials and the Gen Zers, and they don't even know what a phone call is. They're like,
Well,
"Why are you
it's
calling?"
almost offensive to them. I mean, we used
Yeah.
to have this thing where we still have a great restaurant right downtown, and Chad and JB have heard me tell this story 1,000 times at this point, but still have this great restaurant right downtown in where we live. And you know, you still have to call down there to make a reservation. They do not take reservations through the internet. That could be on them. I think that they ought to, but That doesn't matter. If you want to go eat there, you got to call, speak to a human, and make a reservation. And it was amazing when I would say to my boys, hey, boys, you want to go out for a really nice dinner? Yeah, we want to go to the bistro. We want to go to the bistro. And okay, just call down there, make a reservation. Nah, never mind. They didn't want to make the call.
My kids are the same way.
Yeah. What do you mean? I can't just text to someone and say I want a reservation? No, you can't do that. You got to make the call. You want to eat?
God.
You call.
Jeff, have you ever done the, hey, why don't you call your grandparents? Hey, Paul, how are you doing? Pick up the phone. They want to hear your voice.
Exactly.
God forbid they actually have a conversation, right? With words.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's crazy what we've come to.
Well, nonverbal communication has become more and more popular, and it's become that, talking on the phone will become a lost art. And truly, I say that, it feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think the ultra, the people who are going to be really successful in life will always realize that verbal communication is an essential skill. In-person communication is, but I think they become really the elite in business. I mean, everybody can incorporate AI, everybody can incorporate technology, but the people who know how to convert technology, and as you said, Greg, convert technology to a human experience and do that well and really connect with somebody once the technology has done its job, I think they're always going to be the winners in business.
Absolutely. The most successful practices in the next decade, they won't necessarily have the most staff. They're going to have the smartest systems to allow them to take care of people. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
And that's where we have to utilize the technology that's available to us, and then to that exact advantage, so that we can scale ourselves to be more human.
I love it.
So, go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, I was just going to ask how we were doing on time, since we flubbed our intro and wasted 10 minutes.
Oh, but
watching your son make excuses.
We asked Dr. Wu if he could stay on an extra 10 minutes. So if you've got a question, fire away with it.
All right. Well, let's get back to the significance of today, because today was a big life-changing moment for you. And there's a couple of things that I would love for you to talk. Number one, for the listeners of our podcast, if they haven't heard your story before, just a little bit about what happened on March 18th. And then also life after change. Because I will tell you, I think all dentists take for granted the ability, they're going to wake up the next day and go do the thing that they've done the day before and before and before. And if they don't have all this stuff in place to help manage that particular change or whatever, it can be a real sticky wicket for them when life gets really hard. So talk a little bit about March 18th and the significance of that day and some of your takeaways that you got from that.
Well, first I'll say this, it's I'm still going through it. For anybody who thinks it's been an easy road, it hasn't been. I'm still in that process of picking up the pieces. As I grew my practice to a multi-specialty, multi-location, it allowed me, right before I had my stroke, I was thinking about, I'm going to cut back on clinic a little bit and start taking more of the admin. And sure enough, when this happened, I said, nope, that's it. I'm going to go from 0 to 100. I'm just going to manage it more and try to get things going. And yeah, the margins are thin in dentistry when you're not doing the work. So, it's still a struggle, but it's one thing when you're doing the work, but it's another thing when you're managing or leading the people that do the work. That's different. Leadership comes at a cost, and it's not a skill that you just inherit. You have to learn, and I'm constantly learning that about leadership and communication. And I tell these young dentists that are with me too, it's you being a successful dentist isn't always what you technically do with your two hands. It's your ability to connect with people. That's really where you become successful. And, this journey is still going. And I say this to all the dentists out there, you can think of every single backup plan, but at the end of the day, you can have a plan, but until Mike Tyson says this, you can have a plan until someone punches you in the face. Then what? Right. And so I got punched in the face, and, I said it earlier. Why do we fall? You got to learn to get up and pick up the pieces. So I'm still along that journey. I'm a very open book, and I hope that me being an open book can allow people to understand that you're not alone. I'm picking up the pieces, and I'm trying to figure it out. So I ask people what they would do, and, I listen to them. And what I've learned too is take advice from people who are where you want to be. That was the best advice someone gave me. I was like, oh, you're right. Because everybody gives you advice. Oh, I would do this. Oh, time to just call it quits and, forget dentistry. I would just collect my disability and just be done. So I was like,
let me actually jump on top of it, because there's something that I always talk about called the proximity principle, which is not just to find one person who does it, but surround yourself by people who are doing what you want to do. So put yourself again in those human situations with those people. So you're not just talking to them from afar, so that you're surrounded by a bunch of people that are in that place that you want to get to. Because I really think and kudos to you for admitting that there are still struggles along the way. Every one of us who is real in dentistry and in practice has struggles, and we all fight those same battles. But I'm just so amazed at the dedication that you've had to get where you are after what happened. But I really think that it's important to always put yourself into situations where you can share the ups and the downs of those people who have succeeded, because that's really the difference. Anyone can stand there and say, here's what I did right, here's what I did right, here's what I did right. But it's really getting around people and watching them, how they react to adversity, how they react when something doesn't go the way that they had planned. And it's that human interaction that really, I think, makes the difference.
well, you can cry in the storm, Jeff, or you can dance in the rain.
Yeah.
And I choose the latter. I mean, even though life threw me some curveballs, and, I've been enjoying it. I mean, and I would have it no other way. You know that saying, the butterfly effect.
Mhm.
If I never had my stroke, I'm going to be honest, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you guys. I would not have gotten to know Chad the way I've known him. I wouldn't have been at that Southwest Dental Conference. I wouldn't have the relationship I had with Curve, where they were like, hey, we love this story about how the technology let you still manage your practice. And, it gave me the opportunity where they asked me to be on the road with them. And I go to different trade shows all across the country. And for those of you who actually want to see me live, please come to any of the major shows. I saw you guys at Midwinter. You can tell them I almost look normal, right? Almost.
He's real in real life.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's totally real. But I
You
think
can't even tell he's 7'4".
Yeah, he's 7'4". You can't tell them.
I told you I want to be the sixth man, right, off the bench, because we're NCAA. When you guys need a backup person at Dentist in the Know, you're gonna call me.
He does have sick Michael Jordan shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I got my mango shoe, my mango Michael Jordans.
We'd be honored to have you, Greg. We'd be
I
honored.
would love to. If you guys need a six man coming off the bench, put me in, coach.
I think if I could summarize anything about your statements, it won't do any justice to what you said. But I think the point is, when we're dentists and we're running our own practices, our tunnel vision can get pretty narrow, and it can get a little dark, because a lot of times if you're a solo practitioner, it's a bit of an island. And even if you're an associate, you might not have a relationship with the owner docs or whatever. Like, a lot of times for dentists, it's this very narrow, myopic view of what we're doing on a daily basis. And life will absolutely have curveballs for you, whether it's medical or personal or family or business or whatever. The fact that there is life beyond the curveball is actually the real beauty of the story. And actually, for a lot of us, and all four of us on this podcast, and for many who listen, and honestly, the takeaway I've gotten from just about every podcast person we've had on there is there's like, when you say, guys, there's always been like a second act or a third act to most dentists' lives. Like they had a first act that they thought was going to be the thing who they were, and then they had a second act, and then they had a third act. And sometimes the change was forced, like maybe in your situation, Greg, yours was more of like, we're going to force you into this second act of your life. But for a lot, they just sort of woke up one day and said, yeah, this isn't what I want for the next decade or 2 decades of my life. Like, I'm done living this way. I'm ready to live a different way. And a lot of it is just reinventing what they want in practice, or reinventing what they want out of their family, or reinventing their schedule because they want to be home more for their kids, or taking more time off, or whatever that is. I think if we can empower people listening to us to understand that it's okay to have a couple acts in your life. Like it's okay to have a couple phases where we'll go through that, and that's very normal. And the people who love you and the patients who think you're good at what you do and believe in you, they're just going to kind of keep rolling with your acts and kind of keep following your next step.
And I want to add upon that. I couldn't have done all of this. You couldn't have done all this without help. So for all the dentists out there that think they're alone, please ask for help. It's okay. There's plenty of other colleagues that want to help. I'm one of them. That's actually why I enjoy what I'm doing with Curve and Mango and all these other, is like I like to help other dentists. I really do. So
Greg, you just have such a positive outlook on life, man. I mean, you're just such a breath of fresh air. Your dancing in the rain comment really kind of got to me, because it's just really just a refreshing outlook on life. We're going to close in just a second, but just as a added benefit to our partner in the show, sum it up real quickly as to, if you're considering cloud-based software, why should you consider Curve?
Well, here, we just talked about this. I have brain damage, so I am physically and mentally disabled, and I can use Curve because with the technology, it makes it that much easy. So if Woo can do it, so can you. That's what I'm going to sum it up as.
Woo and you. So one of the things that I haven't even
Woo
pitched
and
Curve
Chad
yet.
do.
Yeah.
There you go. If Woo and Chad can do it, then so can you.
Yeah. So one of the things we talked about earlier briefly before the show, and I'm going to pitch to Curve this week, but I think it's pretty much a done deal, is that I would like to have you back on the show to do a Curve demonstration, because I've watched you in action. It's absolutely fantastic. I think it'd do wonders for Curve, and I know that you're the best to do it. So if you'd be willing to do that, we'll go ahead and set that up within the next few days. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a Wednesday night. We can record it, we can push it, but it'll be a great deal for people to see the benefits of Curve in their practice.
It would be an honor. I would love to.
All right. Well, we'll work on that. But first of all, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for running over, for bearing with our technical difficulties. And in preparation of the show, I was kind of looking for some quotes about tonight, because it's obviously a monumental moment in your life, because it's 4 years post stroke. But tragedy didn't just hit you once, it hit you twice. I mean, we all were victims of COVID. We all weren't victims of a stroke. But I found this quote, and I just want to share it as we close tonight. It says, "When tragedy strikes, it doesn't ask permission. It reveals what was already within us. The depth of our pain, yes, but the quiet strength we never had to use until now." And Greg, you've definitely shown a lot of strength since tragedy hit you twice, brother. And I know it hit you harder the second time than it did the first. And here at Dentist and Know, we thank you. We appreciate you. We're honored to call you a friend. And you're just a huge testament to our profession that, you know, when it happens, you can overcome it. So,
yeah. Hey, thank you guys. I really have a great time every time I'm here. I'm a big Game of Thrones fan, so you know Jon Snow. You guys are dentists in the know, and I used to be dentist Jon Snow, where I didn't know anything, but now I know. So thank you for having me on this show. No longer do you want to be a dentist Jon Snow, so listen to Dentists in the Know, okay, guys?
Oh, I love it. I think we got a sound bite there, JB.
I think so.
Yeah.
Greg,
thanks so much, Greg.
Thank you very much. It was a wonderful evening, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.